In a puzzling murder case, Patrick Smith found himself tangled up in an unexpected police interview due to his connection with Ashley MacArthur. This story sheds light on Patrick's interactions, the unfolding events, and his sincere attempts to stay away from a serious crime. So without further ado, let's investigate it. Patrick Smith was growing his lawn service business and had recently taken on a new property owned by an acquaintance named Ashley MacArthur. Ashley used to work with crime scenes before. Another person, Taylor Wright, gave money to Ashley to keep. When Taylor wanted her $34,000 back, she didn't know that Ashley had already spent it. During the interrogation, Detective asked Patrick Smith if he knew the reason for his presence, to which Patrick replied negatively but indicated awareness based on hearsay. He received a call from his shooting buddy, Charles in Canada, who informed him about Ashley's arrest. Patrick mentioned not having prior knowledge of the situation. Patrick also knew Ashley's cousin, Kyle, to whom he had mentioned his lawn care business. He expressed concern about a body being found on Ashley's property, where he worked for $80, unaware of any such possibility. Patrick had visited the property alone a couple of times, and he had initially been there with Kyle, who introduced him to the property. Patrick drove a 1998 GMC truck and coordinated his visits through text messages from Ashley, usually every 2 weeks. Even after news broke about the body, Ashley still texted him a message, "Hey man," which he found peculiar, considering the circumstances. Patrick mentioned that he's decided to stop working for Kyle as a client.
I'm dropping him as a client. I don't know if he had anything to do with it.
Uncertain about his involvement in the situation, he acknowledged the unease that arises when discovering that a murder occurred where one works or where they've been present. There's a fear of being mistakenly linked to the investigation, even without any connection to the victim. Patrick also confirmed having a text from Kyle reading "Hey bud," which he didn't respond to. He explained that he knew Ashley from playing pool at Six Billiards for about 6 months, with a brief interruption when he went to Dallas for a month. After his return due to his mother's passing, he started working odd
I was
jobs.
shooting there for a little while. I moved to Dallas for maybe a month or two. Then my mom passed away, so I come back. And I was jobless. And
Including helping Brandon with tree cutting for money to cover expenses. Patrick emphasized his willingness to take on various tasks to earn money, including cleaning up the pool hall or performing manual labor, just to sustain himself. He added that he acquired his business license during this period. Patrick stated in the interrogation, "My uncle helped me secure a job at the Bass Center, so that's been keeping me occupied. As for knowing Ashley, I've seen her around when I'm up there. We've interacted more as time has gone on, talking and playing pool together. I introduced myself because she used to be quiet."
I just spoke to her and kind of just introduced myself. Because she'd always sit there and not talk to nobody. So I just introduced myself.
As for setting up the lawn job, Kyle actually approached me one night and asked if I did lawn work, which I had experience with before. I was working for Phillips Lawn Care initially, but decided to do it on my own after getting my business license. Kyle asked about my rates, and I agreed to do the job for $80, considering the size of his property. When I first visited the property, Kyle showed me around while Ashley was there too. They left, and I did the job. It's important to understand this. Moving forward, no, I didn't take Ashley to that property myself. However, when asked earlier, I didn't respond accurately. Initially denying any involvement, Patrick eventually revealed that he had been to the property with Ashley. The detectives warned him not to get caught up in lies and urged him to be honest, emphasizing the gravity of the murder investigation. They highlighted that dishonesty draws suspicion. Patrick insisted on his innocence and agreed to provide all the information he knew. He disclosed that Ashley had asked him to pick her up, so he agreed to meet her at a Raceway gas station near his house. He intended to take her to the property so she could join Kyle, but the detectives found his explanation questionable. Despite the inconsistencies, Patrick continued to assert his innocence. Ashley asked Patrick to pick her up due to her friend borrowing her car. Patrick agreed to meet her at the Raceway gas station close to his home, as he couldn't afford to drive far. The detectives pressed for specific details about the location, prompting Patrick to mention it was the Raceway near Home Depot and Lowe's on 9 Mile Road. They urged him to provide accurate information from his phone records. Patrick emphasized his desire to be truthful and denied any involvement in the case. The detectives stressed the importance of full disclosure, even for seemingly insignificant details. They provided Kyle's message mentioning the address 2201 Britwood, 32,533, where Patrick was supposed to be for work. The message was dated September 21st at 12:09 a.m., arranging for Patrick to be there before 10:30 a.m. to set up equipment. Patrick confirmed the date and time, clarifying that it was early morning, and acknowledged the accuracy of the information. After receiving a text from Kyle that he was up and ready for the job, Patrick mentioned being slightly delayed but heading over soon. He inquired about tools, to which Kyle confirmed having them. They discussed the urgency of the task, with Patrick stating he didn't want to hold up Ashley. He acknowledged having to pick her up due to her friend's car being used for jukebox repair. Patrick clarified that he didn't know the friend and that she arrived in Ashley's black Jeep. This exchange made Patrick realize how he might have been manipulated by Ashley, who had a history of persuasive behavior. Patrick recalled Ashley saying she was riding with Kyle for the day and had errands to run. He emphasized not prying into her business as he was focused on earning money. He confirmed driving straight to the property with Ashley, where they met Kyle. After arriving, Kyle showed Patrick around, indicating areas that needed weeding and pointing out equipment. Following their arrival at the property, Patrick was left alone by Ashley and Kyle after he completed his weed-eating task. He confirmed that he only focused on the designated areas and didn't engage in any other activities like trimming or moving limbs. He described the specific parts of the property he worked on, including fence lines, trailers, the barn, and the pond. However, he admitted that he didn't tend to the side of the property across the road as he hadn't been instructed to do so. The detectives inquired if he noticed anything unusual or overgrown on that side of the property, but Patrick didn't recall observing anything noteworthy. The conversation shifted to whether he noticed any peculiar or foul odors during his visit, with Patrick mentioning that he didn't smell anything unusual, which surprised him given his experience with detecting odors from decaying animals. Despite not noticing anything strange, he admitted that he had smelled of roadkill or dead animals that had been left for a few days. Patrick confirmed that he didn't detect any foul smells during his time on the property and hadn't noticed any concrete, contrary to what he had read about the case. He denied observing anything unusual or out of place during his work. He stated that his routine was to start work early and return home afterward. Patrick disclosed that Ashley never discussed the missing girl with him or mentioned her disappearance, even when they were at the bar together. He knew bartenders Audrey and Jessica, but he hadn't seen or heard from them since the incident. During a night at the bar, Patrick conversed with bartenders Jessica and Audrey, who warned him that he might be questioned due to his association with Ashley. They mentioned having interviews or questions and expressed their desire not to be involved. Patrick admitted to having been to a strip club with Kyle and Ashley. At Babe's, Ashley got upset upon seeing Brandon with another woman, leading them to leave after about 10 minutes. He denied any drug-related activity, including buying cocaine, emphasizing that he wasn't involved in such matters. Detectives tried to confirm if he had witnessed any cocaine use, but Patrick strongly denied it.
But did anybody buy any kind of drugs? Cocaine, maybe?
No, ma'am. No.
Okay, and look, if it happened, it happened.
Not to my knowledge.
We
I do
weren't
not know.
homicide.
He emphasized that he had no connections to criminal activities or homicides, expressing his desire to distance himself from such matters. Patrick asserted that he had no romantic involvement with Ashley and that they were just social friends. He mentioned that he didn't interact with her much due to his girlfriend's disapproval of Ashley. Patrick Smith expressed his willingness to cooperate, recounting his occasional interactions with Ashley and his conversations with bartenders Jessica and Audrey. He denied any knowledge of Ashley's involvement in the crime or any conversations about harming Taylor. He mentioned her close association with Brandon and the two girls from the bar. Patrick also spoke about Audrey's recent departure from the bar and his own personal struggles, including the deaths of family members. He emphasized his commitment to honesty and acknowledged the need to clear his name of any involvement. The detectives concluded their interview with Patrick, recognizing his innocence in the case, given his transparent and consistent responses. Ashley MacArthur tricked Taylor into coming to the property and shot her. That Ashley buried Taylor under cement and soil used for planting. Since Patrick had access to the property recently, the police questioned him to find out if he had anything to do with the murder or getting rid of the body. Ashley was found guilty of first-degree premeditated murder and received a life sentence. And that's that for today's video, folks. We hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.